Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Supabase with Flutter. In this video, we'll be exploring the database of Supabase. So if you don't know anything about Postgres, don't worry, I will be explaining everything step by step. So once you are at your Supabase console under your project, you can see under this table editor, you will be getting the following interface. And under the following interface, you can see you will be getting the following thing, that is creating a new tables and etc. Now you can also create new database with the following SQL shell. Under a SQL shell, you can write raw SQL queries, and with that thing, you will be executing and creating a new database. Now, I will be showing you both of the two ways of creating tables, and the third thing is about database itself. You can see there will be an option of database where you can see all the databases, tables, rules, etc. and etc. So for now, as a beginner, I will be going to table editor and I will be showing you the easiest way of creating new tables and adding data under them. So what I will be doing, after tapping over this button of create a new table, the following interface will be up and ready. Under this, I will be writing my entire name, not a big chon, but a database name. So here I can say to do DB, or you can say any sort of thing. You can also enable row level security so that only selective people who are authenticated will be able to fetch and add data under a database. But for now, this thing is not required, so I will be leaving it unchecked. After that, these columns are the most important steps. Under a case of NoSQL databases, what we guys do, we store our data under key and value. There is a separate document, and under that document we have a key and we have a value. Now similarly, under our SQL databases there are tables. So a table is a big collection. Under tables there are all the rows. Now what is rows? Rows are nothing but separate documents. Right, under my row there will be separate columns, and the columns will be referred as key and value. Now consider the following analogy, and columns will be nothing but simply our placeholder for our data type. Now what I will be doing, I will be adding here a column to be to do title. So instead of to do title, I can simply say title itself. Now the following type of title will be a text, so we can write here text. Now you can also add a default value, but for now I will be saying it to be null. After this, I will be adding some description of our to-do list. Right, so I have got a to-do list, and also the following type is a text. Now you can see there are a large variety of types that we will be adding, but for now text will be good to go. So now I can simply save it, and it will be creating a new database, that is a new table known as to-do DB, under which we have two additional fields of ID, that is ID and created date, and after that we have our manually created columns of title and descriptions. Now the ID will be the primary key through which we shall be able to query the particular row of a particular table. A creation date will be nothing but the timestamp on which the following row was created. Title will be a text and description will be a text. Now once we have added this thing here, let's move under our Flutter application and start adding data in it with our own way. Now what I'll do, if I go back, you can see I got my application up and ready. Now what I will be doing, I can go under my core folder, and under my services I will be getting a service known as database.service.dart. You can see I got my database service, and here I will be getting a new class known as database. Now what I will be doing under database service will be performing all the CRUD operations. So first of all, what I will be doing, I will be creating some data, right? So I'll say create data. Now for creating data, I will be requiring a future method. Under this, I'll say add to do. Right, now the add to do will be requiring two different fields, which will be our required field to be a string of title, and also same for our description. So here after title I will be adding all the description. So after this, the following method will be asynchronous, so let's make it async. Now after this, what we need to do, we need to leverage the Supabase client. So here I will be adding a try catch block, and under my try block I'll say variable response will be equal to await Supabase credentials. From the credentials I can have Supabase client, and from this I can say from the table name. You don't have to write any specific database query similar to auth or real-time database. You can simply refer it to from the following from clause. Now the from clause will be requiring our table name, and fortunately we have our table name to be to do db. So we have to enter the same table name right here, and after this I can say to do db from. You can see you will be getting various options. Now if you have followed my custom backend series, you can see Postgres is very easy database. All of the following queries will be up and ready to us. Now after this I can say Supabase client dot from to do db, select everything, and after that execute. Right, I will be selecting all the data and I will store it and I will be executing them. Now what I will be doing, I will be simply printing my response for now, where I can say Postgres response dot data. I will be simply printing my response dot data instead of doing anything. But you know what, we have to add some data, so instead of add data I can name this method to be fetch to do, because we have added a query for fetching to do's. right? And for fetching to-dos, we don't require any sort of arguments, so I can simply remove them off. So this should be it, and also I will be printing the error. So here I will be simply writing the method name to be fetching data, and after fetching data, I will be getting a method for creating some data. So I will be simply saying creating data. Now I can simply copy the entire future block, and here I will be simply saying it add to do. Now under add to do, we have to write two different fields of required to be a string, which will be a title, and also required to be a string which will be a description under a to-do list. Now instead of having the following select query, I can say dot create. Not create, but if I go here, you can see the following query will be looking like insert. Now under insert, it will be requiring nothing but simply our entire body. So here I will be simply inserting my body. Under my body, the first thing will, that is the first key of the following body will be a JSON. Right. So under my following JSON, I will be having a key to be title, because we have our column name to be title, and the following value will be the dynamic title. And after that, I will be also having a description, and under description I will be having a description value itself, right? Because you can see under my database we have got two different keys of title and description. And once we have done this, what I can do, I can say execute, right? Once the following thing is added, simply say execute. The following response will be giving us some sort of Postgres response, so I can add a following data type here. Now it can be null, so I can add a question mark as well. Also let's import it from our Supabase package. So this should be it. I will be simply printing the following response. I can also say if response dot data is not equal to null. If that thing is not equal to null, simply print the response, and I can say print response dot error, right? If you have got some error. Now this should be the method for adding to-dos under our table. So what I can do now, I can create a notifier for this purpose. So I can go under my notifier folder, and I can simply say database dot notifier dot dart. Right, so here I will be getting a new class known as database notifier, and this thing will be extending with change notifier. Right, so I can go under my app provider, and here I will be adding my new provider. So copy that and paste it here, and here it will be nothing but simply database notifier. So this should be it for now. So we have got a database notifier. Now here I will be instantiating my service, where I will be simply saying database service for database service is equal to new instance of database service. Now I will be creating the same method, so I can simply say fetch to do method under this case, and here it will be doing nothing but simply taking a variable response, which will be, or we don't require any response for now, so I can simply say database service dot fetch to do. It will be a single under await state, so I can name it to be await. After it, I can copy the following response. Now if I go back, here you can see the following data will be a type of a dynamic, and the following response, if I hover over it, it will be a Postgres response. What I can do, I can give my future method to be a type of Postgres response. Similarly here I can say it to be a Postgres response, but that doesn't require for now. So I can copy my future method, and here I will be saying add to do. Now my add to do method will be requiring certain arguments, so I can copy it up and I can paste it here, right? So here let's import our Postgres response one more time, and here I'll say title to be a title and description be a description. Alright, description. So this should be it for both of the following methods. Now what we can do, we can go under our home view, and you can see under my home view I will be adding all, that is I will be fetching all the to-dos, right? So let's have an app bar for now. So the UI won't be that great, so I will be simply adding my text field right here. So what we do now, I can go under my login view, and I can copy the following notifier. You don't have to write it again and again. So I'll be simply saying a notifier, not authentication notifier, but a database notifier. Copy it, paste it here, and also I'll say importing our provider. Let's have our name to be database notifier. So while tapping over it, what I can do, I can say database notifier of add to do. Title will be title controller dot text, and here I'll say description controller dot text. Right, so this should be it for adding to dos for title and description. Now let's get started with writing actual thing. As you can see, I will be getting the following error because we haven't reloaded our entire application. So what we can do, we can close the entire application and start it, that is reload it one more time. Alright, so let me log in. I have got a fake user. So it is user123@gmail.com, and let's log in. Right, so login successful, and we are under our entire application. Now what I can do, I can add some to-dos. So let's say some mock data and also some mock data. So now let's tap over add to do. Alright, so you can see the following response is created at the following date, ID, the timestamp, the title, and the description. Now, if I go back under my interface and if I load everything, you should be seeing somewhat data. So you can see I got my ID of one, some title, and also description for my to do. Now let's try to add some more to do. So here I'll say coding, that is our to do title, and also say practice coding. Right, so let's add it here. You can see the following ID is up and ready. If I go back and if I refresh everything, you can see I got my second to do as well of practice coding. So now let's add one more final time of coding 2 and this one. Let's add it and let's try to fetch it one more time. Alright, so we have got all of our to dos up and ready. Now in this way you can successfully add all the data under a database. So now I will be showing you how to fetch all the data from a database. So first of all, what I'll do, under my home view, under my scaffold, here I will be adding a floating action button for a floating action button, and on pressing over it I will be simply fetching the to dos. So I'll say database notifier dot fetch to do. Right, so we are simply printing them up. So here on tapping over it, you can see we are able to fetch all the to dos. Now what we need to do, we need to create a small model and we need to fetch our to dos based on that model. So now let's do that thing as well. So what I'll do, we'll be getting a new model. So I'll be using a website called Dart2JSON Converter. Yeah, so here I'll be creating a new so what we can do, we can copy the following piece of line. Alright, so we have got our model up and ready. So I can copy the following model and I can go under my core folder and I will be creating a new folder for all the models. Right, so here under my core folder I will be getting a folder for all the models, and here we have got our first model of to do model dot dart. I can paste everything here and I can remove the following null quotation. Yeah, so this should be everything for now. We have got our model up and ready. So now I can go back under my database notifier, and what I can do, first of all, let's go to fetch to dos, and here we'll be simply returning our entire response instead of printing it up. So I'll say let's say variable data is equal to response dot data, and here I'll simply say return data. Right, so we are reading our data. So now what I can do, I can say let data will be equal to the entire stuff that you'll be receiving, and here I can say let modeled data will be equal to let's say our to do dot from JSON, and here you have to write JSON decode, and under decode I can say my data. Right, so under my data you can see the following to do, that is my model data will be of type of to do itself. What I can do, I can say return my model data. Right, so what I can do, I can add a type to my entire future to be of to do. Right, so this should be it for fetching all the to dos. Now once we have got our entire fetch to dos, what we can do, under my home view I will be getting here a small container, or let's say a big list view builder. So here I will be creating a list view builder. Alright, let's say list view builder, and under my list view builder, first of all let's have string prep to be true, and also let's have an item count and all that stuff. Right, so before that we need a future builder, or all the future data will be from future. Where I'll say database notifier dot fetch to do, and under case of builder I can have my context and also a snapshot. Right, so under my case of this, first of all I'll say if snapshot has some data, I will be returning some stuff. So I'll say return my entire list view builder. Right, and if the connection state is under waiting, let's have that as well. So I'll say if snapshot dot connection state is under connection state of waiting, I can say return some circular progress indicator. Right, else if nothing went wrong, I can also say return as a circular progress indicator at the end. So under my item builder I can have my context, bad spelling, so I can have my context and also the index. Right, so here I will be returning simply a list file for now, but before returning that, what I'll do, here I'll say to do model of to do is equal to snapshot. Alright, so what I can also do, I can say variable underscore snapshot is equal to snapshot dot data. Right, so I can pass my snapshot, and here under this I can pass my entire index. Right, I'll say as list, and here as list. Right, so error is gone, and here I'll say return. Right, so under list style I will be having my title to be a text, and under my text I can say to do dot title. Right, so let's press Ctrl and S. Alright, so let's try to decode everything over what is happening here. So first of all, if I go back, right, so I guess we don't require, we need to first of all print our data as well. So I'll simply say print data. We need to go backwards as well. So let's comment everything from this side. and I won't be returning a future builder for now. First of all, let's debug everything manually, right? So here I'm typing over it. You can see I am getting all of my data. Also, I'm getting a null value, right? So let's try to see for what are we getting a null. Let's remove everything and let's clear everything off as well, right? So if I type over here, you can see I'm getting a list and also some null value, right? So let's try to do for what is happening. All right, so we need to return my data from this side, not from the following add to do method, right? So what I can do now, I can go under my notifier, and if I type it over one more time, you can see I'll be getting my data back, right? So I can uncomment this thing off, remove this thing off. I can go under my home view and I can remove everything. That is, I can uncomment everything. Press Control and S. All right, so it is a list. So I can simply directly say here data. All right, let's press Control and S for now. All right, so I guess we are getting some error. All right, no issues. Let's try to solve this error as well. So I can remove this stuff off, and from database service, here you can see I am getting my entire response. So what I can also do, if I try to simply print my response for this side. All right, let's comment off my future builder one more time. Let's print Control and S. Let's that as well. And here I'll be simply printing my data. I'll simply say print data while fetching the to-dos. So if I say here on tapping over it, you can see I'll be getting an instance of Postgres response. Let's go back, and here you can see, I have the entire response. And if I say here dot data, and if I print it out, I'll be getting my entire data, right? So what I'll do, we are getting our entire data back. So here what I can do, I can say, all right, so I can convert this thing under data as well. Data.map. I can use the map property. And under map, you can see I got my to do element. Right, so I got my to do element. Now what I can do, I can say here to do dot from JSON, and under this from JSON I can map my entire to do element. So here I'll say to do element, and here I'll say dot to list. All right, one step, one bracket back, and I can say here to list. Right, so I'll be returning everything off. So let's uncomment everything. Now let's try to uncomment everything and press Ctrl and S. I know what is the error. We have got a valid range error. So let's say string cap to be false, and also need to change this thing under a case of let's play everything, and here it will be requiring a item count as well, right? So here I'll simply say here item count for right. So let's copy it. So let's copy everything off, and I'll say to do will be right here. So the item count will be nothing but snapshot.data, right? So I'll say snapshot.length. Press Ctrl and S. Sometimes we might get some error, so at a time of error, close off your entire application and hot restart everything. That is, launch everything, calm down and hot restart everything. Alright, so let's log in for the last time. Alright, so I guess we haven't given our height and width to our home view. So here under my future builder, I can refactor it under a container, and here I'll be simply giving a height of 400 for now. Awesome, so you can see we are getting all of our to-dos back up and ready. So right now what I can do, under my circular progress indicator, I can say it will be under center, right? And you can see we'll be fetching all the to-dos. What I can do, I can copy my text of, and here I can say it to be a subtitle, and here a description, right? So you can see I will be fetching all of my to-dos and also all the description thing. Now this was all for today. In this way we have successfully fetched all the to-dos and also the title and description. Now I hope you have learned how to add some to-dos and also fetch some to-dos. These are the following methods of fetching the to-dos and also adding some to-dos. So tomorrow we will be updating the to-dos and also deleting the to-dos. So right now, if you are not subscribed, kindly subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.